You receive a mysterious invitation to a dinner party, but when you arrive, you find the guest of honor lying dead on the floor, a look of shock frozen on their face. The room is filled with the sound of shattering glass, the smell of blood and perfume hangs in the air, and the atmosphere is tense with suspicion. As you enter the grand ballroom, you're immediately struck by the opulence that surrounds you. The chandeliers cast a dim glow over the room, casting long shadows across the faces of the guests. The sound of clinking glasses and muted conversations fills the air, but beneath the surface, you sense an underlying tension. You notice a figure standing alone at the bar, nursing a drink, their eyes scanning the room with a mixture of anxiety and suspicion. The guest of honor, a wealthy businessman, stands at the center of the room, a smile plastered on his face, but his eyes betray a hint of unease. You can't help but wonder what secrets he's hiding, and what could possibly go wrong on this night. The dinner detective, a mysterious figure with a keen eye for detail, begins to circulate among the guests, asking questions and gathering information. But, as the night wears on, you start to feel a sense of unease, a feeling that something is off. And then, the unthinkable happens. The guest of honor collapses to the floor, a victim of murder. The room erupts into chaos, and the dinner detective springs into action, beginning the investigation into the crime. But, as you look around the room, you realize that everyone is a suspect, and the killer could be sitting right next to you. The sound of sirens echoes in the distance, and the smell of blood and sweat hangs in the air, as the reality of the situation sets in. You're now a part of a real-life murder mystery, and it's up to you to help solve the crime. As the investigation begins, the dinner detective starts to question the guests, gathering information and looking for clues. You notice that each guest seems to have a motive for the crime, and the detective must sift through the evidence to uncover the truth. The victim, it turns out, was a wealthy businessman with many enemies, and the list of suspects is long. But, as the detective digs deeper, they uncover a web of deceit and lies that lead them to a surprising discovery. A torn piece of fabric caught in the door of the study, a suspicious conversation between two guests, and a mysterious letter opener found on the floor, all point to a complex and intriguing crime. The detective must now piece together the events of the night, and follow the trail of clues to uncover the killer's identity. But, as they delve deeper into the case, they realize that nothing is as it seems, and the truth is more complicated than they ever could have imagined. The sound of papers shuffling, and the smell of old books and leather, fill the air, as the detective searches for answers in the study. The room is dimly lit, with only a single desk lamp illuminating the space, casting long shadows across the walls. As the investigation continues, the dinner detective begins to uncover a complex web of relationships and motives among the guests. It turns out that the victim was not as well liked as he seemed, and many of the guests had reasons to want him dead. The detective must now interview each guest, gathering information and looking for inconsistencies in their stories. But, as they dig deeper, they realize that each guest is hiding something, and the truth is more complicated than they ever could have imagined. The detective discovers a hidden safe in the study, containing a cryptic message that points to a surprising suspect. But, just as they think they're getting close to the truth, they receive a shocking revelation that throws the entire case into chaos. The sound of a clock ticking and the smell of freshly brewed coffee fill the air as the detective ponders the evidence. The room is filled with the warm glow of morning light, but the atmosphere is tense with anticipation. Just as the detective thinks they're getting close to the truth, they receive a shocking revelation that throws the entire case into chaos. It turns out that one of the guests is not who they seem to be, and their true identity is revealed in a stunning twist. The detective must now re-examine all of the evidence, and re-interview the guests, in light of this new information. But, as they dig deeper, they realize that nothing is as it seems, and the truth is more complicated than they ever could have imagined. The guest who was thought to be a victim is actually the killer, and the detective must now confront them and bring them to justice. The sound of a door creaking open and the smell of rain filling the air create a sense of tension and suspense as the detective prepares to confront the killer. The room is dimly lit, with only a single flash of lightning illuminating the space, casting long shadows across the walls. As the truth is finally revealed, the guests are left to pick up the pieces and try to make sense of the events that have transpired. The dinner detective has solved the crime, but the experience has left everyone shaken and changed forever. The guests begin to disperse, each one lost in their own thoughts and reflections on the events of the night. The dinner detective remains, standing alone in the empty ballroom, looking out over the space and pondering the complexities of human nature. The sound of footsteps echoing through the empty hall and the smell of decay and neglect fill the air as the detective reflects on the case. The room is dimly lit, with only a few flickering candles illuminating the space, casting long shadows across the walls. As we look back on the events of that fateful night, we are left with more questions than answers. The dinner detective has solved the crime, but the experience has left us all changed forever. We are reminded that nothing is as it seems, and the truth is often more complicated than we ever could have imagined. The case of the murder at the dinner party will always be remembered as a cautionary tale of the dangers of deception and the complexities of human nature. The sound of a clock ticking away and the smell of old books and leather fill the air as we reflect on the case. The room is filled with the warm glow of morning light, but the atmosphere is tense with anticipation as we ponder the mysteries that still remain unsolved. The dinner detective's work is done, but the true mystery of human nature remains a puzzle that may never be fully solved. And so, we are left to wonder what secrets still remain hidden, and what mysteries still await us in the shadows of the human heart. As we conclude this investigation, we are left with a haunting question: what secrets still remain hidden, and what mysteries still await us in the shadows of the human heart? Join us next time as we delve into another true crime mystery and explore the complexities of human nature. Like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on our latest investigations, and join the conversation as we try to unravel the tangled web of clues and uncover the truth. The mystery may be solved, but the true enigma of human nature remains a puzzle that may never be fully solved.